Hey guys, good early morning to each and every single one of you. Welcome back to the channel, United Red Devil 20 on YouTube. Hope you're having a good early morning start to this Friday morning in February. Hope you're all looking forward to the rest of the day. Hope you all had a good week. And I hope you're all looking forward to another brand new weekend in February 2024 this year. First of all, do me a massive favour for me. Hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel, United Red Devils 20 on YouTube. Share the video, hit the tweet button, hit the retweet button, and remember to put the notification bell on at all times as well to receive dedicated content right throughout the rest of 2024 on the channel for brand new videos, shorts, live streams, free giveaway coming very, very soon as well. That will be given out very, very shortly. More brand new gaming, more brand new games coming to the channel, more previews, more match reactions, more games, what we're doing at the moment as well, and much more brand new stuff planned for the rest of 2024 on the channel, on the community. So please join us on this journey and this adventure with all of us. Welcome to obviously another Premier League preview. Obviously, match day 24 of the 23-24 Premier League season. Manchester United's biggest test to date for me is the Aston Villa game. Obviously, we are away to Aston Villa at Villa Park on Sunday evening. It's a 4:30 p.m. evening away kickoff on match day 24 of this Premier League season, which, again, Manchester United have to simply keep on winning. Like, 4 games unbeaten, kept a clean sheet against West Ham, destroyed them 3-0. And I think Aston Villa at the moment, all of a sudden, are looking very, very shaky. Against, Sheffield United, you expect a quality team like Aston Villa to put Sheffield United to the sword. But in their last meeting, Manchester United beat Aston Villa 3-2 at Old Trafford, with Rasmus Højlund scoring his first ever Premier League goal, and Aston Villa were 2-0 up on that occasion at Old Trafford and absolutely blew it and threw it away, and were much the better team in both halves of that game. But in the second half, Aston Villa absolutely collapsed due to the pressure that Manchester United were mounting on them. And especially what happened to Aston Villa this week in the FA Cup, which for me was a big, big shock. I mean, losing 3-1 to Chelsea at home in the FA Cup, where Chelsea at the moment are on an absolute downward spiral in the Premier League, and in the FA Cup and in the cup competitions, Chelsea are finding some form and respectively battered Villa on Wednesday night. Like, I honestly did not expect Aston Villa to be losing to what is a crisis at Chelsea. And Chelsea come to Villa Park and absolutely torn them apart. I don't know what the moment's going wrong with Aston Villa, but at the start of this season, it was looking very, very good. They were second in the league. They were third in the league. They've slipped to fourth. They now slipped to fifth and potentially slipped to sixth or seventh by the end of the Premier League fixtures this weekend. Unai Emery, I think now, is getting found out. I don't know if it's down to the injuries Villa have got, but this did happen at Arsenal. When Unai Emery was getting found out at the Emirates and Arsenal were also getting found out away from home, all of a sudden, Arsenal started sliding down that Premier League table quicker than a slide. And I think at Villa, that game against Chelsea was a very, very poor game to lose. I mean, especially after Chelsea were humbled and dismantled by Wolves at home in their last Premier League home game at Stamford Bridge. And somehow Chelsea have found something from somewhere and dismantled Aston Villa 3-1 in the FA Cup fourth round and deservedly got through. I'm as shocked as any other person as a football fan to see a team like Villa that have been, for me, probably one of the sides of this Premier League season. They've been absolutely fantastic. I mean, I can't give enough credit to what Unai Emery has done at Aston Villa. Has absolutely transformed them magnificently under what Gerrard did, which was leave Villa in a complete utter mess through poor football tactical crap. And Unai Emery has really, really transformed that Villa team. But to lose 3-1 to Chelsea, especially at home where Villa Park is meant to be a fortress, I think Manchester United could get something this weekend. I really can see Manchester United getting something this weekend. I don't know what's giving me that feeling. I don't know what's giving me that positivity or that confidence to see Manchester United go away to Villa Park and win. But after, Chelsea found it so easy to rip that Villa team apart, especially through the goals that, Villa conceded. I mean, 2 from Nicholas Jackson, a brilliant free kick through Enzo Fernandez, And Aston Villa, all of a sudden, they just don't look like that team they were at the start. I don't know if the pressure's getting to them that they need to get into Europe again next season. I don't know if the Europa Conference League football is starting to get to them having to play Thursday, Sunday every week. Has the cup competitions come at a wrong time for Villa, especially with the amount of injuries they've got, with no Buendia, no Luca Dean, no Duran? That Aston Villa have got a lot of problems in their team at the moment. They have got a bit of an injury crisis going on inside Villa Park. And Unai Emery's team are now getting found out. I don't know if the Villa players have switched off. I don't know if this season is finally starting to catch up with them, but Unai Emery's side do not look like that hard to beat now. I don't know where that Villa form's gone, by the way, because after you beat Sheffield United 5-0 and you batter them at Bramall Lane, I mean, no disrespect to Sheffield United, you're probably going to be one of the favourites to go down anyway when you come back up to the Prem because you're basically shit. And Villa to batter them, I wasn't really surprised, but you don't lose 3-1 to Chelsea, especially at home, especially what Pochettino has done to Chelsea, which has turned them into a complete and utter mess. I'm surprised Villa lost the game. I'm really, really surprised. I mean, I don't know where it went so badly wrong for Villa in that FA Cup game against Chelsea, but Chelsea were just battering them. Like, I've never seen Villa sit back so much and just let Chelsea mount pressure and pressure, attack after attack. I don't know why Villa did that. Like, I thought Villa would be one of the favourites to win a trophy this season. No Carabao Cup, no FA Cup, you're not winning the league. And, you know, a club like Villa that have done so well this season, which what they have done, you've got to give them credit where credit's due. Villa have been brilliant. I'm not going to knock how brilliant they've been in this Premier League, especially what they're doing in Europe, finishing top of their group, qualifying as group winners, getting through to the knockout rounds in the Europa Conference League. Aston Villa, for me, look like the favourites to win that European competition. But all of a sudden, they've got back into the league, and all of a sudden, they went up and then they've gone down. They've gone up and then they've gone down. And in the FA Cup, maybe that is a lesson that, you know, this Aston Villa team is not as good as what it looks on paper. Maybe the injuries aren't helping them. Maybe Unai Emery's side are playing so much football, because if you think about it, Villa did have to play Sheffield United last weekend on Saturday, which they battered them 5-0. All of a sudden now, since that win, Villa have gone back home to play Chelsea, and Chelsea have found them out. I don't know how tactically Pochettino outclassed Unai Emery, but Pochettino did a job on him. And, you know, Pochettino has had a lot of critics for playing really shit amateurish football at Chelsea, and their league position is shocking, to say the least. They are further slipping down that Premier League table. But in the cup competitions, they can somehow spring a surprise on you, and Chelsea somehow find some form from somewhere to get in these cup competitions and progress even further on into that competition. Against Villa, I expected Chelsea to really, really struggle. I thought, you know what, this could be another mauling. This Chelsea team looks absolutely dead on its knees. And Villa played awful. They went really, really strong as well. Yes, they've got Duran, you know, Tyrone Mings is missing, Konza, Dina. They've got a lot of players out injured at the moment at Aston Villa. I don't know if that was down to the amount of changes Unai Emery made for Wednesday night, but that Villa team did not look like they were up for the fight anymore. And maybe they're tired, maybe they're fatigued, maybe the amount of football they've played this season has really done them in. I just don't think, you know, Unai Emery will last at Villa. I've just got this really funny feeling that if it goes horribly wrong for Villa on Sunday, which I'm feeling a lot more confident that Man United can get something from, if you can come from 2-0 down at home against Villa in the previous Premier League fixture, then Manchester United surely can go to Villa Park and win. Villa Park last season was a nightmare. We got absolutely destroyed. We got ripped apart. We were torn apart, and we had players like Ronaldo, Casemiro and Fernandes and Martinez all in that team that season, and we still lost. Villa Park has become a fortress again. It has become a fortress, but that fortress started to appear with cracks. I don't know why Villa played as bad as they did. Maybe the focus from the FA Cup really wasn't there, or maybe they were probably thinking bigger things ahead for Sunday against Manchester United, because they lost the previous fixture. You're 2-0 up. You're battering Manchester United. You are comfortably destroying them in the first half. You go into the second half 2-0 up, and somehow, something from somewhere, Manchester United found 3 goals. It's because that Villa team got too cocky, too ambitious, too arrogant, too big-headed. Egos got a little bit bigger, thinking that the job was done, and maybe Villa were going to put 4, 5 or 6 goals past Man United, knowing they had that 2-0 lead. And all of a sudden, that Villa team collapsed in the second half. Soon as United got the first goal and got back into the game, soon as it goes 2-1, all of a sudden, Aston Villa come crashing back down with a bang. I don't know what's going wrong at Villa, but maybe, they weren't fussed about the FA Cup. I don't really know the answers to those questions, but Unai Emery's side are going to want to put things right. I think United are going to look at the performance from their last game. They're going to look at the performance from the Villa game against Chelsea. There's going to be a lot of problems I think Aston Villa are not going to know about. And yes, we have got problems ourselves. I mean, we've basically nearly got a full fit squad back, fully fit to return. But again, injuries, setbacks, injury problems, injury nightmares again for Manchester United. Lisandro Martinez, could have been, we really did need him for this weekend. He is going to be a massive, massive miss in this team. It's going to be a really, really hard pill to swallow that, again, your prize-winning World Cup centre-back is out injured again for 6 to 8 weeks with a sprained cruciate ligament in his ankle, in his knee, that has really, really screwed the rest of the season up. And those 6 to 8 weeks, they're not going to go quick. It's going to be a long, long process again for Lisandro Martinez to get back in this team. I've seen people saying, do you know what? Time's up. He's clearly injury prone. Let's get rid of him. I don't think that's the answer. He's one of our best centre-backs at this club. He's a World Cup winner. And Martinez and Varane are our best centre-back partnership. We really could have done with that this weekend, because we know that Aston Villa front three are strong. We know they've got quality players. We know they've got goals in that team. And it might be a very, very high-scoring game. I think there's going to be goals to be had in this game. But I think if Manchester United can do what they did to West Ham, then maybe we can sneak another 3-0 win again. I'm not saying it's going to be as straightforward as that. I'm not going to say Manchester United are going to get the best out of the performance at the weekend. I'm not going to say Man United are going to go to Villa Park and batter and dominate the game. I'm not going to say those things, because whenever I've said that, it comes back to bite me. I'm not going to get too ahead of myself. I'm going to be, optimistic but cautious at the same time, that Manchester United need to keep this form up. We've gone 4 games unbeaten now, which for me is a lot of progress. And people will say, well, you only played Newport, you only played Tottenham, you only played West Ham. Stop, getting too much on the hype train. But I've got to feel confident and positive with the way we've been playing as a whole, because I'm looking at it at the moment that we are looking a lot better. We're looking a lot more stable. The football seems to be improving quite a lot. And all of a sudden, that confidence is coming back into the team. And especially now that you've got, a very young, hungry team with 3 amazing world-class young talented players in Garnacho, Mainu and Højlund, all finding goals to take Manchester United's progress even more forward into the future. Man United's future now is looking a lot brighter with those 3 in that team. Højlund has now got 4 goals in 4 games. That is a goal every single game in the last 4 matches. A lot of people said, you know what, Højlund's not going to make it. He's not going to make Manchester United career very successful. He's going to be a big, big flop. He ain't going to score the goals that Manchester United need on the pitch. And for me, at the age of only 21, still quite a young age to develop. He's got a lot of room for improvement. Of course, every player's got room for improvement in their game. But I think now I've got the confidence that, I'm finally starting slowly, but not fully. I'm starting slowly to trust these players again. Yes, 4 games unbeaten is massive, massive progress. A clean sheet against West Ham, fantastic. We need to keep this up. If we can keep this up, we might turn our Premier League season around. I'm not going to say we're going to get top 4. I'm not going to say we're going to qualify for Europe. I'm not going to say that Manchester United are going to go and do this, this, and this. We now need to take this one game at a time, one step at a time. We can't afford now to be rushing into credentials that Manchester United might not achieve, because we don't want to be sat here at the end of the season. We didn't get Europe. We didn't win a trophy, and it's going to be a really, really long summer for Manchester United fans to get over after just winning one trophy in 7 years. And I think for me, we did need to win a trophy this season. There's no doubt about that. There's no question about that United do still need to win a trophy. We are still in the FA Cup. If we can win that and qualify for Europe, that is going to be our saving grace. The Premier League form now, well, you drew against Tottenham, and you beat West Ham, and actually you beat Wolves. So your last 3 Premier League games, you've won 2 and drawn 1. If you can do that again, a win on Sunday, that's 3 wins and 1 draw. So that's 10 points out of the last 12. That is a lot of progress in the last 4 matches. That United, all of a sudden, things are looking a lot more up than what a few weeks ago were. Remember how bad it was a few weeks ago that United season was basically over. The FA Cup is all we've got left. And yeah, we're still in the FA Cup, which again is progress. We've been given so far really, really kind draws in the 3rd and 4th round to be where we are. But the Premier League now, again, is the full focus for Sunday. And I think Ten Hag knows that, Unai Emery's Villa have been very, very good. The form of Ollie Watkins has been, completely different to what it was under Steven Gerrard. I think, Steven Gerrard was trying to bring old traditional football back to Premier League side, what simply wasn't going to click. I think at Rangers, no disrespect to the Scottish Premiership, but you've got to look at it tactically. There are 2 good teams in that league and the rest of it is shit. You are basically playing mid-table League 1 and League 2 teams in the Scottish Premiership. You're playing teams like St Mirren, Hart, Hibernian, Aberdeen, Livingston, Dundee. And Gerrard, I think, tried to implement the style of play he got at Rangers into Aston Villa. And Steven Gerrard, right at the start, it was going okay. But season after, Villa were a mess. I don't know why Villa were a mess. It's because tactically, Gerrard is simply not a good enough manager. There's been a lot of rumours of Gerrard that may be given the Liverpool job. No, not from a rival fan. I wouldn't give him the Liverpool job. He would turn Liverpool into an absolute mess. Great players do not become great managers. And that is why he failed at Villa. Because he brought players in like Callum Chambers. He brought in players like Diego Carlos that, first season in, he picked up a really bad injury and then was fucked for the rest of the season and couldn't play any more football. I think Gerrard got really naive thinking his Premier League is going to be an absolute stroll like it was in Scotland when he was the Rangers manager. He's going to coast away with this Villa team and they're going to be absolutely fine, qualify for Europe and might win the occasional world trophy. Villa were getting found out because of Gerrard's poor tactical football. They had no cohesion, no chemistry, no style of play. It was part of the bus football at times at Aston Villa under Gerrard. And that is why Gerrard got sacked and Unai Emery was brought in. All of a sudden, you've got players like Alex Moreno now at Villa, Martinez, a World Cup winning goalkeeper. You've got Luca Dean back performing, even though he's now back injured again. You've got players like Douglas Luiz transforming out of Villa midfield with his sublime performance against Sheffield United in their last Premier League fixture. You've got Ollie Watkins, who keeps on finding the goals. I mean, you've got Morgan Rogers, a world-class, youthful, great player signed from Middlesbrough. Aston Villa are building for the next step, and I think Manchester United can learn from that. I think, if Villa will probably have to, reshape their whole mindset. It's a complete reset for the weekend, cut competition off the mind. And maybe they just thought to themselves, you know what? The FA Cup isn't that much important for us. We're still in Europe. We've still got European competition we can fight to be in next season. And Manchester United is a lot bigger game. And of course, they're going to be seeking revenge. They shouldn't have bottled a 2-0 lead. Of course, Unai Emery's side are going to be up for winning this game, especially at home. It's going to be a tough place to go to, Villa Park, because the atmosphere there is electric. I mean, they get right behind those Villa players, and I think it will be a tough fixture for Manchester United. It's a shame again that, we say about Martinez. I mean, he's not the only one out injured for Manchester United at the weekend. Got no Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Again, there was rumours that he was dropped from the team due to disciplinary issues. But Aaron Wan-Bissaka, again, injury prone. I kept on saying this, and I kept on saying this. Aaron Wan-Bissaka isn't good enough. Again, an injury prone right back that is nowhere near good enough to be at this football club. And, he's been out for like how many games now? Didn't see him against Wolves. Didn't see him against West Ham. We haven't seen Wan-Bissaka since Tottenham. So again, the injury to Wan-Bissaka, it's probably a bad one. And again, it will be another player we could have done with having available for a bench option. But I don't think we'll miss him. But, long-term longevity, I always keep stating that the right back and the left back is two of the main articles and two of the two key positions that I would improve in this Man United team in an absolute heartbeat. I would improve it straight away because I think that's what it's going to take. I think Manchester United need to improve both right back and left back for next season. There was a lot of, pundits on Match of the Day and Match of the Day 2 last weekend saying how great Manchester United are going forward with Diego Dalot and Luke Shaw. I don't know what they're smoking on Match of the Day. I don't know what crack they are on, and I don't know where this view and opinion's coming from. But they clearly aren't Manchester United fans. They are clearly pundits who have got no clue how to look at a team properly based on highlights. Diego Dalot going forward is trash. Defensively is woeful. Luke Shaw going forward is trash. Defensively, woeful. And apparently they're brilliant going forward to create multiple opportunities for Manchester United. I'm sorry, but I completely disagree. The back four is going to be even weaker now because what's going to have to happen? We ain't got no centre-backs for Sunday. We've basically got Varane, and that's it. I don't think, Ten Hag will rejig that big back four a lot. I don't think he's going to make too many changes to that team. I think what we're going to see, from my view, is that if Luke Shaw does play, what I think for me will happen is Luke Shaw will move to centre-back and next to Varane. But then what do you do with left back? What do you do with right back? Because you ain't got no Wan-Bissaka. So Dalot's more likely to stick in again at right back. But then who do you play at left back? Because do we play Varane and Maguire? Do we play Varane and Evans? Do we play Varane and Shaw? Because you can't put Maguire at left back because that would be a joke. He would get found out quickly. You can't put Evans there because of his age. Johnny Evans shouldn't even be at this fucking football club. And Varane is your best centre-back left. So it's going to be interesting to see what that back four is. If it's Varane and Maguire, I've got problems there. If it's Varane and Shaw, I've still got a problem. That a lot of people think that back four is as solid as a rock. Again, I'm sorry, but I completely and utterly disagree. I think that back four is the worst back four in the Prem. If we have Martinez, it's a lot better and a lot more stable. But having Maguire, Shaw and Evans, how does that give you confidence trying to stop players like Ollie Watkins and Alex Moreno? And I think that's the main problem I think United are going to face. They are going to be coming up against quick, fast Villa players that are going to try and, target the weaknesses in that back four because we know how weak we are defensively with Maguire in that team. We are at 6s and 7s. He's not been solid. He's been crap this season. And justifiably, he's been back on that bench where he fucking belongs. He shouldn't even be playing for this football club. But again, Ten Hag is down to the injuries of these players. And clearly, people saying, don't get rid of Martinez. I'm sorry, no. The ones who need getting rid of is Maguire and Evans. If you get rid of Martinez, we are going to turn shit defensively. We will concede a lot more goals than what we're scoring. Because not keeping clean sheets every game isn't going to help. So, Ten Hag has got a big decision to make on that back four because if we do go with Maguire or Shaw, I think Man United could concede a hat load of goals. Like, I know he kept a clean sheet against West Ham, but that's because West Ham blow bubbles up their bubble machine. All they do is go on about how great their bubbles are. Like, it's so boring to talk about it. How great West Ham are under David Moyes. We've won a European trophy. Yeah, the B-Tech version of a European trophy. You won the Europa Conference League. Whoop-de-fucking-do. No one cares. So I think, I don't want to see United concede goals again, but I just worry that if we ain't got Martinez, where's the problems will be created. I'm sorry, but that is what will happen. Problems will be created in that back four. Now we've got no Martinez. So I think for me, what I would do, would I play Lindelof? I mean, we've got Lindelof back available, but is he fit to play 90 minutes? Another key question for Ten Hag is Lindelof really that fit to play a full 90-minute match for United, knowing he only came off about a 10, 15-minute cameo against West Ham at Old Trafford last weekend? Again, another talking point that I think probably is going to have to be answered pretty quickly. Otherwise, United are just going to be a complete mess on Sunday if we don't have a settled back four. It's just Ollie Watkins is my big threat for Villa. He's the biggest threat in their team. He's literally their best player. And I think for me, Ollie Watkins has been carrying Villa all season. I think without Ollie Watkins in that team, Unai Emery would really, really struggle to keep his job. I really, really think that, Ollie Watkins has been carrying Aston Villa in Europe. He's quite clearly been carrying him in the league. And if you don't get the ball to him and you don't feed him goals, Aston Villa are about a mid-table team at best, in my view, in my opinion. So, yeah, you've got to deal with that threat. So maybe I go Lindelof, Varane, Deleuze, Shaw. But I'm not picking that team. I'm not picking the squad. I'm not picking the starting lineup. But I wouldn't have Maguire there. I wouldn't put Shaw next to Varane. I would just probably put Shaw at left back still, put Lindelof next to Varane, Maguire on the bench and Deleuze at right back. The midfield, don't expect many changes. I think the midfield will probably keep their positions in that team again this weekend. Mainu, Casemiro and Fernandes. I thought, again, Mainu was brilliant against West Ham. That midfield looks very, very solid with him in it. Obviously, United, according to Fabrizio Romano, big shout out to Fabrizio, by the way, he's an absolute transfer legend journalist in the footballing world. Mainu's going to be given a brand new contract. Absolutely deserves it. Mainu has been fantastic since he's been in this Manchester United team. We look completely transformed with him in it than not having him in it at all. And Casemiro looks a lot more comfortable back at CDM, knowing he's got a quality, young, hungry, youthful player in Mainu that is doing a lot more jobs than what some of those other players are doing in that team. So Mainu will probably play. Fernandes, again, will play. I just think the midfield needs to be built around these three. I think this is what we need to do. I think we don't need McTominay. We don't need Eriksen. We don't need Mason Mount. We don't need Hannibal Mabry. We've got way too many players in that position that can play there that we don't actually need. If you can keep Mainu happy, great. Give him a new contract, which we're doing in the purpose of doing right now. According to, obviously, like Fabrizio and Manchester United, he's going to be given a brand new contract, more higher wage, higher salary, which he does deserve because Mainu's been an absolute stand-up player. And I think for me, if you're having to give the Young Player of the Year award, I think Kobe Mainu gets it in an absolute heartbeat. I think Kobe Mainu is the best young player in the Premier League at this moment in time. I think Mainu is the stand-up Manchester United player. And I think for me, he is probably one of the first names on the team sheet every week. You do not drop Kobe Mainu in a big game like this because he's running the midfield. Him and Fernandes, there's something special there. And it makes Casemiro's life a lot more easier in the CDM role because if Mainu can get forward a lot more, you always see Mainu track back. You always see Mainu winning to try and win the ball back. You don't see that a lot from the midfielders who have been at this club. But Manchester United have got a gem here. And Mainu now, for me, is an absolute gem. He's an absolute superstar. And I think he's going to only get bigger and better in the future for this football club where his future lies at. He won't go to another club except us. He wants to be here for life. And you can see that he's wearing that Manchester United shirt on his heart every single time he pulls on to play for that football club. Every time he's given that shirt, you get a 10 out of 10 performance from Kobe Mainu. I think for me, this kid has got a lot of potential. And even Gareth Southgate now is considering calling Kobe Mainu up to the England squad for their warm-up games before Euro 2024 this year, which again would be a fantastic learning curve experience for Kobe Mainu. And again, would he get an England team based on form right now? 110%. I think he would bench Declan Rice. I think he would bench Calvin Phillips. And I think for me, you don't need any Jordan Henderson because Jordan Henderson is just a finished B-Tech now at a mid-table club in Ajax in the Netherlands. So, yeah, there's a lot more quality coming through this United team now with Kobe Mainu in it. And hopefully, the more it will carry on. So, we've discussed the midfield, we've discussed the defence. Don't expect a change in goal. We know Onana will play. Ten Hag absolutely loves Andre Onana. So don't expect, Bandir to be starting in goal. Soon as Onana was back from the African Cup of Nations, we all knew Onana was getting back in that team, didn't we? I think we all knew, didn't we? We all knew that, Manchester United were going to put Onana straight back in goal as soon as he came back from international duty. And again, he's kept a clean sheet in his last game, which again is a great sign of possibly that maybe all of a sudden he might start turning his form around as a Manchester United goalkeeper. There's more games to come, and let's see how Onana does in the next 2 games as Manchester United's number 1 goalkeeper choice. The front three, again, I wouldn't expect many changes. I think the only change I would make from that front three is probably bench Rashford and put Garnacho back on the left. I think Garnacho, I'm going to keep saying this, on the right wing, I don't think he's great. I think against West Ham, who have got an ageing back four, they've basically got a retirement home for West Ham oldies in that West Ham team. That West Ham back four couldn't cope against Garnacho. It couldn't keep Rasmus Højlund's pressure down very far. But for Marcus Rashford, I think is the only player I'd be dropping from this team for the weekend. For me, I wouldn't even have him on the bench. And I know that is not a very big call, but again, 1 game against Wolves, 1 goal. And all of a sudden, West Ham goes back to being the same old Rashford. It's because the West Ham back four know what Rashford's game is. He likes to do everything on his own. He likes to take the man on inside the penalty area or outside the box. They know what Rashford was going to do. So West Ham targeted that, unreliability, basically, that Rashford's trying to be a superstar, be a hero, and do all of it on his own, which is not the game. You need to play as a team, not as individuals, because that is how you produce results. If you play as a team, you will win. If you play as a bunch of individuals, you are more likely to get found out very, very quickly. And that's what that West Ham back four did. I thought Rashford was dreadful. I'm not going to beat around the bush about it. I thought Rashford was a massive, massive standout. Was probably one of the worst players in that team. I'm sorry to say, but again, I'm going to keep stating it. We are better without Marcus Rashford. I'm sorry to say, but a lot of United fans have got to start realising this now. Man United will move a lot more progress forward if Rashford's not in that team. Garnacho is our left winger. Højlund is our striker. We just need to find a right winger now. That is what we need to find. I think for me, that is the missing piece. We need a right winger because Rashford can't play there because he's not a right winger, he's a left winger. You can't put Pellistri there because Pellistri's crap anyway. Doesn't deserve a chance. He's awful. You can't play Anthony there because he's massively out of form, massively dipped. And then, Ahmad, will he get a chance on Sunday? I doubt it. Again, another world-class player that I think has got huge potential to be a superstar at Manchester United. Doesn't seem to be getting an opportunity. Will it be his opportunity this weekend? Would you be playing Ahmad on the right? I think it's time we've got to do something because I think the front three needs a more youthful approach. I think if you've got a more youthful approach for the front three, who've got more talent and more age on their side, against an ageing Aston Villa back four with a lot of injury-prone centre-backs, especially the injuries they've got now, no Konza, no Luca Dean, the Villa will struggle. Villa will really, really struggle to keep them quiet. I think if you had a really good right winger, that front three would be the front three I think we need to go with long term. But again, we don't really then have a backup striker to Højlund because Rashford isn't a striker. Martial, we won't see him ever put on Man United shirt again. He won't be in the team. He's out for 10 weeks due to, I think, it's a muscle or thigh problem that he's had to have surgery on. And it was apparently a request of the player to have the surgery. So basically what he's trying to say here is, I can't really be fucked anymore. I'm going to be gone in the summer anyway. My contract's up. I'm not going to get it renewed. So what is the point of me playing on for the rest of the season knowing I might not even be here? The problem is, Anthony Martial, no one wants you here. We've been done with you for nearly 2 or 3 seasons. You were shit under Ragnick, shit under Solskjaer. You've been shit under Ten Hag for 2 seasons. And you've basically been injury prone again. I mean, Martial has got more injuries in him than a bloody paper cut. You might as well send him to Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry to put him on the hospital wing because we don't really have a backup striker now. because you've got no Palestri. Ahmad can't play down the middle. Anthony can't play down the middle. So for me, I think the front three would be the front three I think we need to go with. Would be Garnacho, Højlund, and, Ahmad. I think that is about time we went with that and see what it could do. But will Man United want more experience in that team in the front than those three? Because we know Rashford is a big favourite of Eric Ten Hag's. We all know that Rashford is a favourite. We all know Rashford gets in that team. So, but I just think if he's not producing against West Ham, why should he be deserving to start against Villa? Why should he deserve to start? What did he contribute to that team? What did he contribute towards the winning goals? What was his contribution in that whole game against West Ham? He was a standout for being crap. And I think, people might not like that view, not like that opinion, but it's got to be respected that I just think, the only change I would make was drop Rashford and bring in Ahmad. Put him on the right, Garnacho on the left. Højlund's clearly the striker we've got now. 4 goals in 4 games. Absolutely fantastic. It's amazing to think how many people, pundits and critics, have now really kept their mouth shut that Højlund has now scored 4 goals in 4 games. Like, I'd love to know where they all are now. They're probably sat behind a sofa crying with a blanket over them because they can't stand all of a sudden Rasmus Højlund finding the back of the net. At the end of the day, I did say he will come good. And again, I did say this guy will score you goals. I did say this will be an exciting Manchester United signing for the future. And now, 4 goals in 4 games, it looks like Højlund has finally arrived. And I'm happy for that. He's one of my favourite players. And let's hope he keeps this up. Because if he keeps his goal scoring form up, there's no reason why not that, he might get young player of the season. I'm not sure, but he's clearly the answer down the middle. Again, we will need an experienced striker next season. I'm not saying that, Højlund's got to be it. But we will still need another world-class striker to get in that team. I don't know who that's going to be. I'm not 100% sure who that player will be. But we need someone that Højlund can learn from to develop his game for the future, because I think he's going to be at Manchester United for the rest of his career. I think United is the best place for Rasmus Højlund's development. And like I said, if you scored 4 goals in 4 games, your confidence is going to be up. And you'll feel confident that you'll be able to find the back of the net again on Sunday. If Villa played the way they did against Chelsea, then Villa are going to have a very, very tough evening. I think Villa really could be in big trouble Sunday. They could get found out very, very quickly. And if they concede the goals the way they conceded again in that game on Wednesday, then it could be a long evening for those Villa fans. And obviously, I am friends with a Villa fan. Massive shout out to my mate Lion, by the way. Massive, contributor, moderator on this channel. Massive shout out to him. I've got a lot of respect and a lot of time for him because he supports Villa. I respect that. I support Man United. He respects that. There's a lot more things that are a lot bigger in football in life, like friendship, playing games together. There's a lot of respect there. But when it comes to football, we'll always respect each other, even though when both of our teams are playing each other, the respect will always be there. But obviously, you are going to want your team to win. You're going to want your team to beat them, and it is going to be tough. It's going to be a high-scoring game. I think there's going to be I really think this could end 4-3 either way. I really think if United, concede goals the way they did against Wolves, it could be a long evening. If United did what they did against West Ham, it could be a long evening for Villa. This game could swing either way. This could be a massive decider on who gets European football. I'm still hoping we finish above Villa. We've got to get European football. We've got to get back in the Champions League. But at the moment, is that the level that Manchester United really belong at? UEFA Champions League football, is that where we think we should be next season? Or do you think the Europa League is the better option, knowing where we've been this season, which has been an up and down team through last year? But 2024, all of a sudden, 4 games unbeaten, 3 wins. I'm not going to complain about that. I think Ten Hag, again, he gets my full support. He gets my full backing. I don't know why pundits and critics have it in for Ten Hag. He's one of the best managers we've had since Sir Alex Ferguson. He brings ruthlessness, stability, and he gets us to win trophies. And a lot of people do not like it. Well, at the end of the day, if you back the manager properly, we will succeed. And hopefully, this season, I think, is a much more of a learning curve. Yes, this season has been dreadful. It's not the season we all wanted. It's not the season I think any Man United fan or Man United supporter predicted. I didn't expect to be where we are in the league. I really didn't. I really thought we'd push on. I've been left disappointed. I've been left angry, frustrated, and sad at times that we've not performed where I think we could be. But that ain't down to me. It's down to the players. It's not down to the manager. We can't blame Ten Hag all the time. Like, I don't think you should be blaming Ten Hag. I think the bigger picture is look at that team. Look at the injuries we've had. Look at the crap players we've got at this club. And there's the bigger problem. If you got rid of half this dead wood, Man United would go places. And I think for me, Sunday will be the game of Ahmad. I really, really think it's time now to get this youthful front three I want to see in that team. Get this front three being a lot more youthful, a lot more free-flowing and attacking flair. If you add Rashford in it, he'll try and be a hero. Try and do it all on his own. He'll lose possession. He'll give the ball away. If you can get service to Garnacho, who can get service to Højlund, Højlund will put the ball in the net again. We are starting to finally do that. I don't know why it's taken nearly 24 Premier League games to do this, but all of a sudden, the service is getting to him. The balls and the assists and the crosses are getting to our striker. About time too, because it's been one hell of a season. We are game 24 now. We're only 14 games away from the end of the Premier League season. We have got to keep on winning. We've got to keep clean sheets. We've got to be playing good football. And we've got to be going to big teams away from home and performing. We have to start this with Sunday against Villa. We have to win this game. We need 3 points. We need another clean sheet. We need to keep some momentum up now. If we can make it 5 games unbeaten, another Premier League win, it's more points on the table. We will start closing these gaps. And now we've got our best players getting back in the team. This is going to help. The production and the service now will improve a hell of a lot more now that our best players we've had last season are back in that team fully. So, yeah, like, it's going to be a tough night. Again, it's going to be a tough game. It's always tough for Manchester United. I mean, under Ralph Rangnick, we went 2-0 up. We were playing fantastic football, and then look what happened. We went 2-0 up and bottled it. We could only get a point. Last season, away at Villa Park, United got found out, got dismantled and lost 3-1. Obviously, when Villa came to Old Trafford, went 2-0 up, bottled it, and got lazy and cocky and thought the game was won in the second half. And they didn't expect that surprise Man United counter. They did not expect Man United to find 3 goals and win that game and take the points off them. So, of course, Villa are going to be up for it. They are going to want the points. They're going to need the home win. Because if they don't win at the weekend, that's going to be 2 hefty defeats in a week for Unai Emery. And the pressure is going to be on them again, because if results start slipping, Villa will not be afraid to make a decision. And if the players start losing the confidence in the manager and they stop playing for him, which maybe I did see signs of that against Chelsea. I thought they weren't playing for him on Wednesday. I thought they were dreadful. I thought it was really bad, and they were booed off. Every right they deserved to be booed off. They were shit. They shouldn't have lost the way they did to Chelsea, especially the season bloody Chelsea had. I mean, honestly, people think Man United have got problems. Just go and look at some of our rivals. Like, go and look at some of them. Bottle job teams that should not be in the Prem. Teams that really aren't at Premier League level, and people think United have got problems. It's fucking laughable. Like, Chelsea are laughable. Spurs are laughable. Everton are laughable. Forest. I mean, the list goes on. United, we're not going anywhere. This club's never going to die. We are still the most successful club of all time in English football. No one can take that away from us. No one can take that away from you. So bring it on, I say. Bring every game on. I'm not afraid to play Villa. I'm confident we can win. Score prediction-wise, I'm going to go for 2-0. But when I've said that before, it never happens. But I got the Villa score right, and we West Ham score right, and we won 3-0. I predicted 3-0, and we won 3-0. So maybe let's make this 2 out of 2. I'm going to go for 2-0 Man United. I think Højlund will find the goal again, and maybe Garnacho will add the second and kill Villa off. But if it'd get the first goal, it's going to be a tough, long night for Manchester United on Sunday evening. But let's see what happens. Can we make it 5 games unbeaten in a row? Can we make it 3 Premier League wins in a row? We've not done that for a while. So all I can say is let's see where this boat is floating on Sunday evening at the full-time score and the full-time result once the game finishes on Sunday evening. And hopefully, again, Another Man United win, another 3 points, and a step closer to closing down top four and closing on these European positions. So I hope you enjoyed this preview for this Villa Man United Premier League game on match day 24 of the 23-24 Premier League season for Sunday evening's game. 4:30 kickoff away at Villa Park, live on the Sky Sports main event, Sky Sports Premier League channel. Hope you enjoyed it. Hit the like button and the share button. Hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. United Red Devils 20 on YouTube. Share the video. Hit the tweet button. Hit the retweet button. Remember to always remember notification bell. Put the bell on at all times so you receive dedicated brand new content of brand new videos, shorts, live streams coming right throughout the rest of this year. 2 brand new exclusive games hopefully going to come this month, depending on how good those games or how bad those games are. We've still got more Fortnite, Rocket League, EA, F1 24, Fall Guys, more previews and match reactions. Like I said a few minutes ago, join me for the Premier League match reaction and Premier League final score between Villa and Man United straight after the full-time whistle. Hopefully it's another Man United win, another 3 points, and another step closer to turning this Premier League season around. Enjoy the rest of your day, enjoy the rest of the week, enjoy your weekend, stay safe, be nice behind each other. You're all legends, you're all legendary, and I'll see you on the next one.